Child care for millions of American families could be at risk if Congress doesn't act soon. Billions of dollars in federal funding for child care is set to expire this week. Now, let me break this down for you. The cost of child care has increased 220% in the last 3 decades, far outpacing inflation. The average cost a year is now more than $10,000 per child. For many Americans, these emergency funds have become essential. Nikole Killion shows us the potential impact on families and child care providers. Nikole, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Nate. Some lawmakers and child care advocates warned we are teetering on the edge of a child care cliff, and going over could leave millions of children in this country without care.
Hello? Ashley Proctor has been bringing her 2-year-old son Ahmad to this Maryland daycare center since he was 8 months old.
Jump. I love the staff. My son, he loves it here. It feels like family.
And for Ashley, it's also affordable.
How much would you say you spend on child care a month?
On average, about maybe $50.
$50,
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's with a need-based scholarship, which is provided through the state of Maryland. About 30% of the kids at this learning center receive similar aid.
What do you have?
Which partially comes through federal funding included in the American Rescue Plan.
The motion is adopted.
The law was passed in 2021 during the pandemic, providing $24 billion for child care providers, the largest federal investment in child care in U.S. history. But come September 30th, it's due to expire.
Does this keep you up at night?
It does. The thought of losing one child, much less, 30% of them, it just breaks your heart.
Patty Smith has been the director of the center for nearly 30 years.
If the funding ends, unfortunately, I don't think those parents will be able to pay our tuition, so those children will be without care. We may have to close the classrooms or hopefully not the center as a whole.
The Century Foundation, a progressive think tank, estimates the looming child care cliff could result in the closure of 70,000 child care programs, and more than 3.2 million children could lose their spot, costing families $9 billion in lost wages.
What are the chances we go off this cliff?
I don't think we're seeing really good signs right now.
I think there's a high likelihood.
New Jersey Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill and California Congressman Jimmy Gomez, chair of the Dads Caucus, have joined several other Democratic lawmakers to co-sponsor the Child Care Stabilization Act.
We have a child care crisis in America.
It would continue funding at $16 billion for the next 5 years to keep centers open and help workers.
How personal is this issue to you?
It's incredibly personal to me. There was a time when I was looking for childcare. It was costing more than my paycheck to put my children in childcare.
My wife and I, we have a 13-month-old son. We're lucky because we have the resources. I have a good job that helps pay for it, but it's $2,600 a month. That is almost as much as my first mortgage of my house.
Ashley worries about how much more she'll have to pay for Ahmad with funding set to run out.
Where is he going to go? I probably wouldn't be able to afford it as a single parent. So without this, my son, he wouldn't be here. It's a stressful thing to think about.
There is a bipartisan task force that is looking at other potential legislative solutions, but there's growing concern about this child care cliff and a potential government shutdown hitting at the same time, which could hurt families and these child care providers especially hard. It's really like a double whammy.
Yeah, and these are two separate matters that a lot of people aren't really paying attention to, are they?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you have some Democratic lawmakers that have proposed additional funding, but right now, Republicans on the Hill don't want to spend more, so it's really unclear what the path forward here is, and a lot of these child care centers are worried they could have to shut their doors.
Wow.
Children need a place to go. Oh,
Parents need a
and the
place to put
parents
those kids if they
yeah.
want to get any work done or
Exactly
go
right.
grocery shopping. I mean, you lose childcare, your day is done.
Yeah.
Nicole, thank you very much.
You bet.